Now that you are all pros at putting together an absorption income statement, we're going to switch gears and we're going to do a variable income statement. Remember, the difference between absorption and variable is whether or not we include fixed overhead as a product cost or if we include it as a period cost. And in variable costing, we're going to include it as a period cost, so the entire amount's going to be expensed. All right, let's go. So we are in 2018. We sold 90,000 units, and we have our cost per unit up here. Okay, so our sales are just going to be the 90,000 units we sold times the $50 per unit. Now, if I wanted to be really crafty, you can see that for these first few costs, it's the exact same as absorption, okay? So I'll go through this first one with you, and maybe we'll do that in a future one. But our direct materials are going to be the number of units sold, 90,000, times $3 a unit, for a total of 270,000. Our direct labor is going to be the 90,000 units we sold times $10 per unit, or 900,000, and variable overhead is going to be the 90,000 units we sold times $5 a unit, or 450,000. Okay. We're not going to include fixed overhead, but we are going to include variable S&A up here. Why are we including it up here? Because it's a variable cost. And when we do our variable income statement, we care about variable cost versus fixed cost. We don't care quite so much about product versus period. So does this mean that variable S&A is now all of a sudden a product cost? No, 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 it does not. It is still a period cost, but we're going to put it up with its friends with the other variable costs, right? So it used to be, if it's like two gangs on a playground, it used to be like, we're product costs, we're period costs, blah, 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 right? Now we're not doing that. Now we're like, we're variable costs, we're fixed costs. So variable S&A, which used to hang out with the period costs with fixed S&A, now he's had to jump ship and go hang out with the other variable costs like direct materials, direct labor, and variable overhead, all right? Sometimes you just got to change a click, man. All right, so our variable S&A is going to be the number of units sold, which is 90,000, times our variable S&A cost per unit, which was 2, which was right up here. All right, so our total variable costs, both our product and period costs, are 180,000. So our contribution margin, which is sales of 4.5 million, minus total variable cost of 1.8 million, gives us a contribution margin of 2.7 million. All right, now we're going to subtract our fixed overhead, but we don't care about this $8. We don't care how many units we sold, doesn't matter. Fixed overhead is getting deducted in its entirety on our variable income statement. So this 800,000, whole enchilada goes down here. And then for fixed S&A, the whole 300,000 goes down here, same as what we did before. Somehow we have lost our formatting, haven't we? Let's go ahead and add that just for fun. There we go. All right, so our net income then is going to be our contribution margin of 2.7 million minus fixed overhead of 800,000, the entire amount for the period, and fixed S&A of 300,000. Or a net income of 1.6 million. You're like, that's lower than our net income under absorption. And a couple videos from now, we're going to talk about why that is. And you may be thinking like, I don't want to use this variable. It gives me a lower net income. But as we go through the different periods, that's going to change. All right, so we're going to do 2019 and 2020. Once again, if you feel like you've got this, feel free to go ahead and do it on your own and then just come back and check your answers. When I finish with 2020, I'm going to talk about some of the things you notice based on if we produce more than we sell or sell more than we produce. So maybe check back in at the end of that video just so you can get that piece of information. Or just watch them all. They're not that long. It's kind of fun, right? All right, I will see you in 2019. Goodbye.